So this is what everyone thinks I look like when I do resin. And this is the reality, so looking great there with my mask and gloves, but you gotta wear PPE. So this week I want to take you through how I make my resin bookmarks. So once I've got all my powders out, I personally like to order them from light to dark. That just helps me feel organised. Some people don't worry about it, you do you. Once I've done that, I pick out the things that I want to add in. So this week I got some really cute sunflower chips, so I thought they'd make some nice bookmarks. So I popped them in with some pink and gold glitter for the first one, and then in the second one I just went with the straight gold. I like to move them around with a paddle pot stick. I find that it just stops everything from sticking to your hands, and it's pretty easy to shift. Once I got up to the third bookmark, I decided I'd try some dried flowers. So I picked out some pink and red teeny tiny flowers. They look a little bit like roses, and just laid out a couple inside the bookmark. After I've done that, I have a bit of an obsession with gold foil lately. So I got out my gold foil, and again, I really like to break it down with gloves on. I just find that you get smaller chips, it doesn't stick to your fingers, and once you put the resin in, it's much easier to move around. Once I had done that, it was time to start pouring in my colours. So I stuck with a cool analogous colour tone for my first two, which were the blues and purples. And then for my second two, I switched to a warmer palette. There's no real right or wrong way to put in your resin. It's always going to turn out slightly different than you think. The resin does like to move when it dries, but the real joy in resin is that you can't get it wrong. It just has this magical ability to always look really pretty no matter how you apply it, whether you're swirling it or just doing different types of blobs or trying to do chunks and sections. It always comes out really, really nice. I did notice that towards the end that I was going to have a bit too much resin left over. So if you're like me and you hate waste, I thought why not just stick them all into the last mold all together and we'll just see what happens. So that one's going to be a surprise for me and you. I don't know if it'll look good or if it'll work, but as I said, you usually can't go wrong with resin, so I'm actually excited to see how that one turns out. Hopefully it will look really pretty. Once I've done the coloured ones, it was time to move on to the clear bookmarks. Really easy, just tip the resin straight in, move it around with a paddle pop stick or a toothpick, and then you have to heat it with the heat gun to get rid of any air bubbles. So I'm really excited to see how these turn out. I had lots of fun making them, so tune in tomorrow to see how they went. Thanks, bye.